You don't have to run webinar funnels and pay upwards of $300 to generate high-ticket leads using Facebook ads. There's a much cheaper and easier way to do it via instant formats. Now, instant formats is not something new, and it's been around the block for quite a bit, but the way I'm going to teach you how to engineer the instant form funnel will guarantee the quality of leads, and then most importantly, the shortness of a sales cycle, which usually takes about 24 to 48 hours from generating the lead on Facebook to actually getting them on a sales call and enrolling them to your high ticket products. This is not going to be a theoretical video only. I'll also show you inside of ad account for one of my clients where we're generating high ticket leads using instant forms for only $20 a pop. I'll show you exactly the kind of ads we're running, the ad copy, and then I'll also show you the specific funnel engineering that goes into these instant forms, and also the sales tricks and hacks on how you can shorten your sales cycle and make sure that the leads you will be talking to are still relevant. So without any further ado, let's dive in. Hi, my name is Nazim. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a marketing consultant. I've made my clients over $40 million in sales with marketing, sales, and advertising advice with these bare hands. I've run over $5 million in paid traffic, and everything that I'm going to be showing you in this video is engineered and designed with me, privately working with my clients, and I cannot wait to basically jump into my share screen and really quickly show you the proof, the results, and that this is not just going to be all theory talk. So without any further ado, again, let's jump in. As you can see, we're inside of the ad account here, and if you look at these FR instant video ads, you will see that in the last 30 days, we've already spent close to 2,000 euro, which is, pretty much the same as US dollars. And you'll see that we've generated 111 meta leads at only 19.63 cents a pop, right? So it's not something new we've been running. Obviously, we've been running this funnel even before that, but in the specific last 30 days, I've made some changes to video ads and the funnel design that's enabled us to essentially slash the cost per lead even lower. We used to generate these leads for about $50 a pop, and now we're at 20. If we go inside of the ad, I just want to show you how the ads look real quick. I will extend it so you'll see this is what the ads look like. And we like to show them on Instagram stories and Facebook, Instagram news feeds as well. Now, this is what it looks like. Before we jump into the ad itself, I also want to show you really quick the kind of targeting we're using, because I think targeting is important. And I'll be done with this really quick because the targeting we're using is actually very, very simple. As you can see, we're targeting the entire Germany, and the client is German. We keep the age bracket fairly broad, no gender specifications, no interest, nothing. That's really it. I would say for a majority of people out there, you don't need to specify your ads with interest targeting, and you should more so focus on writing good ad copy that will qualify people upon them reading or stumbling upon your video ad. All right, now that we've looked at the targeting, let's actually look at the ad copy that we're using. And I'm a big advocate of using straightforward ad copy, especially if you're in a B2B niche. But even if you're not, I think this is really the part where you should do your actual targeting, where you're being very specific and very clear and to the point with your basic offer and what you've got to sell. And you see that this is very much reflected in our ad copy. We're using 3 different ad copies and 5 different headlines for our ads. As you can see here, we do actually have 5 different ad copies in this ad and 5 different headlines, but they're very similar to each other, and 5 different call to actions. And we have them under dynamic creative function. As you can see here, it's in the dynamic creative. It means Facebook basically rotates these ad creatives on its own. I would highly advise to use this function unless you want to be, again, really granular with your targeting. But for the majority of you who are running ads at only a couple of $1,000s per month, I would definitely recommend using dynamic creative function on. And since obviously it's in German, I went ahead and translated it with Google Translate, and you will see that the ad copy is very straightforward and very simple, but that's where it's genius. So you can see the ad copy. My family and I spent 7 years building a tutoring business, and it's been so great. It's been working so great that we've turned it into a franchise business. And this franchise business has already been around for a couple of years. And currently we're generating leads to sell the franchise system. And obviously, as you can see, there's some backstory as to what basically the kind of business we build. We also discussed the kind of results we've been getting in our own business, and essentially who is this franchise system for, and what we will deliver specifically, like what we promise to deliver, and like some guarantees we make, some more signs of social proof. And then it's pretty much a call to action, right, to fill out the form, and then we're going to have a brief phone call, and we will tell you all about it, how the franchise system works, and if it's going to work for you, right? So the whole gist is to not tippy-toe around the offer and be very specific, very concise and straight to the point about what is it that you offer, the benefits, some guarantees, which I think is very important in this day and age, some risk mitigators that you can offer to people. Be very upfront about them, and then obviously make a call to action to have a consultation call with you. So that's basically the ad copy. Now, when people click on the ad, let me go back to preview. When they click on the ad, they're going to be taken to a destination, which is the instant form, right? So in the instant form itself, the form itself is multi-page process. First of all, we ask the big question, which is, and I'll show you how to create the instant form in a second, but we basically ask them, hey, would you like to get more information about our franchise system? And then we pretty much ask for their name, phone number, and email address. And then and this, by the way, fills out on its own using people's Facebook data. And that's it. All they have to do is just confirm, and then they go to a thank you page that is designed to tell people a little bit more about the franchise offer, how it works, and help them prepare for the call. So let me show you real quick how to create the instant form. All you have to do is come here in the ad, in the business manager, and look up instant forms here. Right here, it's the instant forms. You have to click on creating a form, new form. You have to obviously title it. I'm gonna say test. I would highly recommend to pick the more volume form type. I would keep it open, which means people can share it between each other. And then I would keep it at optimize, which means Facebook is going to, change your form and optimize it per the person that views it. I don't think they butchered or changed it too much. They really optimize it. So unless you're very strict about your form and you have some policies that you want to include in there, you're in like a very difficult niche or like strict niche, like pharmaceuticals or something, which I don't imagine you are, I would keep it optimized. Then you click on next, introduction. I would say apply for a consultation call, right? And then I would write something as simple as, please fill out the form and your contact details, and we'll give you info about our franchise system, for example, right? System. I was going to write, for example. Then you click on next. Here, what you want to do is say, please fill out your contact details, right? And then I would also add here a phone number, which does not come naturally. I'll push the first name up, keep it at first name, email, and phone number. And I would make them all required, and they're gonna fill out automatically, right? Using the person's Facebook profile details. Sometimes people may have changed their phone numbers or emails, or they're not using the email anymore. But phone numbers are usually legit because people use their phone numbers to verify their Facebook profiles, and phone numbers is typically all you need in this system, and email address is just to typically just follow up or remind people about their call. I would also add a question here and make it short. I would say, are you sure you like, or say, would you like to start your own franchise business? Something obvious, right? And then it would be, I would pick not a short answer question, but I would pick a multi-choice. And then we'll be say yes or no. You can ask all sorts of questions in here. You can ask them if they've had run at a franchise business before or any other relevant question. I would not make it more than one question, but I would ask them that one question to basically make sure to vet for people's interest, to make sure that they understand what they're applying for. And then I would click on next. I would include your privacy policy from your website, which is you can again just grab the link from your website and add it in here. And last but not the least, I would set up the thank you page or the thank you process. You can pretty much keep it here as it is. You can say thank you, you're all set. We'll call you in an hour, for example. And then what you want to do is you want to direct people to a thank you page. Now, the thank you page is probably the most important piece of this funnel. You want to design a thank you page that tells them a little bit more about the product or about the service. And actually, on some accounts, you can have a button here that says contact via WhatsApp. If you have it, I would recommend using it. And if people basically fill out the form, if they click on the WhatsApp button, they're going to be taken to your business WhatsApp chat where they can personally ask you questions. And I think that's great. But right now, on this account, we're using a thank you page. And this is the thank you page we're using. Keep in mind, we're currently redesigning this page, making it even better. But just to show you the thank you page and the kind of elements you have to have on the page. So the thank you page gives people maximum context about your services. There absolutely needs to be a big main video about what your services are, what they stand for. I highly recommend that it's your face in the video so people can connect to the brand. And then we also have a brochure here that people can review, and it's basically 10 frequently asked questions and answers to them, also very helpful. And then basically more videos on this page. Try to put as many videos and as much helpful context on that page as possible. You don't want to hold off information from people because then they're going to get on a sales call and they're going to bombard you with a bunch of questions. You want them to have as much context as possible when they hop on a call with you. Actually, the more specific, relevant questions they have about the videos or PDFs or like leaflets that they have consumed from you, the better. But if they start asking you questions about what space is this franchise in, or like how does it work, that's not good, right? So going back to the thank you page, one more detail I forgot to say is that actually the biggest piece of our ads, or like the biggest reason why it's working now so well, is because I took the business owner and I wrote a script and I essentially encouraged them to record their face on camera. Because before, so just so you know, we used to run ads like these, which were okay, I guess. You can see that they're still getting us cheap leads. But the problem was that with these ads, when there's no face of the brand, it would not be very convincing. And it's very easy to forget something that is anonymous, that's using a stock image, but it's not so easy to forget if you see a face. Also, if you see a face, you start trusting the person a lot more, especially in Germany, which is a market that's all about trust and whatnot. So I would highly encourage that if you're going to try this funnel, to do video ads to an instant form. The video ads should not be longer than, I would say, 90 seconds or maximum 2 minutes. And the video ad script needs to be just a recitation or regurgitation of the ad copy. You don't have to say something different. Now that's that. So a lot of you might be thinking, Nazim, this is good, but what happens after people apply, right? What's the big deal there? And it is a big deal because there's a certain way I like to run my sales process after people apply via the format. I think this is really the thing that makes all the difference, because generating leads, believe it or not, is not so difficult. What's more difficult, at least, is to turn those leads into sales. And this is how we do it. So I put some chicken scratches here that I'm going to walk you through about how the whole thing works. But let's go, right? So first, people apply, right? When people apply, they come to the thank you page, right? And that's fine. And when they consume the thank you page, or shall I say, while they consume it, what's going to happen is that their contact details from the application form is going to be sent to you via email. And then also, if you use a sales CRM, which I highly recommend using, their contact details is also going to come into your CRM. So the biggest thing that you should do then, like the most immediate thing, the first thing that you should do is to call them. And I'm a big advocate of the speed to lead principle when it comes to sales. And that basically means calling people as soon as possible. The biggest shift in sales results we've noticed is when we switched from calling people within a day to calling people within 15 minutes. I recorded a great video on speed to lead and how we've basically implemented it in the other video that I'll attach at the end of this video. So make sure to check it out. But I would call the lead within 15 minutes as soon as possible, at least 2 or 3 times until they pick up. If they don't pick up the phone, then you call them once more later that day, and then, then on the day after. But the biggest reply rate you will get within 15 minutes here. If you want to have like a better example of what I mean when I say speed to lead, try to apply for any sort of insurance online. You'll see that you'll get called within 5 minutes. Insurance companies know that speed to lead is everything because you want to catch people at that right time when basically the matter that you talk to them about is most relevant to them, and you got them, hooked them by curiosity at that time, and you want to basically talk to them about that thing as soon as possible, book them for a sales call. But that's speed to lead. Now, obviously, as you call them, you will also want to send them SMS messages, emails, and then what I also like to do, but it's optional, is to do WhatsApp or Telegram messages, right? So SMS, email is compulsory. There's no not doing email. And it's also very, very legal, and like you shouldn't run into any sort of issues. Even in Europe with GDPR, if people fill out the form, they consent to being contacted. That should be all good. And then with SMS also, you can use apps like Twilio to send people SMS for very cheap. We're talking 1/10 of a cent per SMS. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Nazim, what kind of cadence you advocate? Should I email and SMS people every day, every other day? Maybe what's the duration? Is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? I'm a big advocate of basically hitting people hard, right? And I don't get me in a wrong way, but hitting it hard for like 3 days maximum. And I would recommend about 10 to 15 touch points in those 3 days. It might seem too much, but I would much rather hit it hard for 3 days and then just move over and not bother the person whatsoever than basically extend and stretch out my reach out for like 2 or 3 weeks. You ever have that thing when people call you for like 3 weeks in a row just because you filled out a little form 3 weeks prior on TikTok or Instagram? Yeah, like I don't like that, right? But I don't mind being contacted on the same day or the day after, even if people do it hard, because it makes sense. I filled out a form. I want more information, and they're trying to do their best job to give me that information, right? And you can even cap it at not 3 days, but even 2 days. Because that's really when you're going to get 80% of your most meaningful positive feedback. And that's basically how this is how the sales process works. It's not anything extremely convoluted, and that's my point. It shouldn't be, but you need to be damn effective doing it. You can only get away with doing follow-up for 2 or 3 days, but you have to hit it hard with 10, 15 touch points. Let's say you have to call them like 3 or 4 times minimum over the 2-day period. You have to send, I would say, 2 emails on the first day and then 1 or 2 emails the day after. Same for SMS. Add maybe WhatsApp and Telegram also. Speed to lead is also important. You want to contact people as soon as possible. My biggest mantra in sales is you don't need fancy sales scripts. You don't have to be the best salesperson in the world. What you do need is relevancy, because people love to buy things when they're relevant. And when you catch them at the right time, they need to be an amazing salesperson becomes not so important. If you just talk to them straight, if you ask them straightforward questions, if you vet for interest, and if you catch someone at the right time and they have the finances, the odds of them investing with you goes up exponentially high. But that's basically how this whole system works. Let me know if you have any questions, and give this video a thumbs up. If you want me to implement something like this for you, go to nazimconsulting.com, apply for a strategy session. This funnel works for a lot of people, but I would still have to see if it can work for your business. And that's it. I will now attach the video, that video that you're supposed to watch here. So go ahead and do it as the next thing, and I'll catch you in the next videos.